Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be setting up an apt-cache server on a virtual machine on a Proxmox cluster, and essentially this is going to speed up the installation of apt packages because it'll actually cache them on the local server, and then it will basically, when another VM or whatever requests those packages, it'll pull it from the server first and speed up the task at hand. So let's take a look at how to set up the apt-cache and all that there is to know about apt-cacher-ng over on Ubuntu. Now, I'm using Ubuntu, but you theoretically can use more Debian-based distros. Just in this video, I am going to focus on Ubuntu. So here on Termius, we're going to go into my apt-cache demo, ESP12, and we're in. So I'm going to, first of all, do this. I'm going to go to sudo vi sudo and delete the root password prompt by doing this. So you're going to say %, your username, all equals all, in parentheses, all, colon, all, no passwd, all, just like that. Basically, that just took away the prompt. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to set the time zone correctly. I want to make sure everything is in the proper time zone. So we're going to say sudo dpkg-reconfigure tz data. We'll go into here and we'll go into America, and then we'll find our time zone in here. Okay, and now that that's done, we're going to do sudo apt update-y. I'm not going to upgrade the packages because this is kind of a one and done VM. After this video is done, I'll delete it. I'm basically just downloading or getting these packages updated so I can get the correct version of apt-cacher-ng. So with that being said, we're going to run sudo apt get install apt-cacher-ng. That's going to install the apt-cacher. If we click yes, and this utility basically just allows you to cache the packages, and it automatically does this. So if there's a newer version of the package, I believe it'll actually pull a new version, replace the current version, and then you can go from there. So it says apt-cacher can be configured to allow users to create HTTP tunnels, which can be used to access remote servers that might otherwise be blocked by a firewall, blah, blah, blah. Yes, we're going to allow that. So this can be used in a lot of circumstances. The reason I'm using this is because the internet speed at the data center is not the fastest, and I want to speed up the installation of new VMs and stuff. So by having this available, I can actually locally cache a bunch of packages that I might need, and really save time when I'm trying to work on a project and I don't want to wait for packages to download. So we're going to go to this file, /etc apt-cacher-ng/acng.conf, and we'll go in here, and we need to uncomment some files here. So we're going to go down here and make sure these are uncommented. So we have cache dir that is uncommented, and same for the log dir. The next thing we need to uncomment is the port, which is going to be 3142. And then at the very end of the file, let's just go all the way down. We're going to add a section for the bind address, 0.0.0.0. So this is going to say that anyone that can access the IP of the VM can actually access the HTTP cache. And I just realized my webcam was on the completely wrong side. I am so sorry if you missed something in this video. Anyways, we're going to close out of this, Control X, Y, Enter. So in this file, one thing we're going to do is we're going to add a bunch of different packages that we want to cache. So I just added all of these, which is going to give us the Debian archives, Ubuntu archives, Debian volatile archives, which is just a bunch of different packages we may need. And we also do want to enable the report page, or I guess make sure it's enabled, which I will explain that later. But if we go back up here, we need to find the report page, or we can search for it. So it's actually literally called report page. And as long as this is enabled, we will be good to go. We also want to do verbose logging, and we want to uncomment this line. Next, we want to check the PID file and make sure that is enabled. And then finally, we need to look for the EX threshold and make sure that is set to 4. So with that being said, now we can close out of this, Control X, Y, and Enter. We'll clear this out. Now we're going to run sudo /etc/init.d/apt-cacher-ng restart, and that's going to restart the cache. So now what we can do is we can grab the IP of the VM just like this and go to port 3142. You'll see that we actually have usage information now. So This is exactly what we need. So you'll see we've got the IP address of our apt-cache VM, and connection information that we need to use to connect to the apt cache. So this is something you will have to do on the client side of the VM. The other nice thing about apt-cacher is it does give you a nice statistics page, so you're able to see a lot of data relating to how you are caching the files. So if I log into my current apt cache, so this is my current apt cache VM, and you'll see recently we have done about 3 gigabytes of data served, but only 489 megabits of data fetched. So this can also be used to conserve and save internet bandwidth, or if you have an ISP that kind of like only gives you a terabyte a month or something, you could do this to save data, because it's the same files you're downloading, but it's just caching them is really what it's doing. At this point, you're probably wondering how you can set this up on your other Ubuntu VMs. So let me show you this. I wrote this script probably a month ago at this point. And basically at the simplest level, this is what it does. So it'll set these 2 variables, file and content, and then it's going to kind of just follow these instructions down here. It'll also update your packages and upgrade them at the end. But pretty much it's just going to tell you the proxy configuration has been updated to the file. And what it does is it'll go into the file and add the contents right here, which is the acquire HTTP proxy. It'll add them into this new file it's going to create, and apt will automatically use the contents of this file first to see that yes, there is a apt proxy. So that's pretty much all that there is to do with this apt cache. There's not much more to it. It really just runs and it kind of just works. It doesn't happen very frequently in the IT space, but when you get something like this that just works, it's really nice. I've been using it, like I said, for just about a month. I've had 0 issues with it. It's been super nice, super reliable, and it really does speed up how fast I'm able to download packages. And that is all for this video. So if you have questions, please leave a comment down below. I highly recommend you try this out. You can even try this on something like a Raspberry Pi. It would theoretically work, so let me know how it goes if you try it. Thank you for watching the video. Have a great day. I'll see you all in the next video.